Oh, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to today's Your Career webinar, which will be focused on the social care sector and particularly those groups of people who are underrepresented as employed in the sector. My name is Jackie Pugh and I'm from the West Midlands Combined Authority, and I'll be your host today for the webinar. We have an exciting lineup of speakers for you, and hopefully you will be able to take away a plethora of information about the sector, about training opportunities, development opportunities, and you'll also be hearing from some of those people who are actually employed in the sector. So without any further I'd like to introduce you to the first speaker, which is Pauline from Department of Work and Pensions, and Pauline will talk about the work that they're doing in the social care sector.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Good morning, everyone. A massive thank you to all our partners for supporting today's event. With so many opportunities available in the social care sector, today is all about giving you the relevant information of what offers of support are available to help you make the decision as to whether the care sector is for you. DWP, along with partners, have a number of programmes to support you into the sector with a wealth of current vacancies. So enough of me really, because I think today is really all about the experts and how they can support you into the sector to get your career started in care. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you, Pauline. That was a really good overview of the Department of Work and Pensions. And now we'll move right into Shirley. Shirley is from Skills for Care, and she's going to set the scene for the webinar today, but setting the scene of the social care sector. So she'll be giving quite a lot of information about the types of work available in the sector, what it's like to work in the sector. So over to you then, Shirley.
Thank you very much, Jackie. And can I have my first slide, please? Thank you. So people who would make great care workers are sometimes put off care because there are myths that exist about working in the care sector, and they may not have had the opportunity to find out what care is really like from those that work in the care sector. So I'm going to spend just a few moments busting some of those myths that you may hear about working in social care, so that you have the facts for you then, so you can make an informed decision regarding if a career in this sector is right for you. Next slide, please. Thank you. One of the main ones is regarding personal care. Working in social care is about providing support to help people live the life they want to live. And yes, there are a wide range of roles, some of which do involve providing elements of personal care, such as helping with dressing, washing and eating meals, etc. Many roles also do not. But just consider what we mean by this as well. So just think for yourselves, do you want people to do personal care to you? Or would you rather people support you to do it yourself or assist you when you need? It is more about person-centred care rather than personal care. In all aspects of your work as a social care worker, you will need to ensure that the person and their needs and wishes are at the centre of all that you do. When looked at in this respect, then you'll realise that you can provide personal care as long as it's with dignity and respect. And you will in the end, you'll feel privileged to be able to assist an individual to enable them to do that independently. It really is such a rewarding job that touches people's lives and makes a real difference. You feel that you're giving back to society, and more importantly for yourself, you do get a real job satisfaction. The job's varied, and definitely no 2 days are the same, so it isn't boring. In fact, no 5 minutes are the same in social care. You can work in such a range of settings as well, so it can provide you the opportunity to experience working in different environments, such as within a day centre, residential home, supported housing, in a hospice, or in clients' own homes. And many of the roles are actually around building relationships and watching the changes you can make to people's lives through the care that you provide. You'll also meet amazing people along the way. those that you're actually working with as part of your team, and those that you offer care and support to. And a lot of people don't know there's actually more people working in the social care sector than the NHS. And it's just really because it's less well known about than, for example, working in a hospital. There's an option to work with a number of different client groups as well. So you could be working with people who have a learning or physical disability, be working with elderly, people with mental health needs, or those with drug and alcohol dependencies. And for example, my main area of work when I worked frontline was working with young people. So a variety there. And as you can see from here, this is just a sample really of some of the roles within the care sector. And there's many that aren't even listed here. So there's quite a wealth of opportunities and experiences that you can have working in this sector. One of the other myths is around low pay and 0-hour contracts. People thinking that they can't afford to work in the social care, so it doesn't pay enough. Well, social care is actually competitive with other sectors. You think that wherever you start to work, in whatever sector, if you're just setting out on that journey, the pay is going to be on a similar basis. Working in social care offers a range of job opportunities with varying salary expectations, as well as flexibility, many rewarding benefits and career progression. For jobs across all sectors, there's fair employment laws in place to ensure that, you know, employees understand the things they are legally entitled to. You have universal credit can support low earners or people who are on training schemes or varying contracts. So looking in this area in the Black Country, the average starting pay can start from approximately £9 an hour, and again in this area the average pay for about a manager role is about £16 an hour. You'll actually be encouraged to develop new skills and gain qualifications that can take you into more senior roles as your experience grows, giving you the opportunity to increase your earnings that way. There's certain shifts may offer a higher hourly rate. Shift work and flexible working across all sectors is commonplace, and sometimes that helps people manage their time and family responsibilities. The flexibility means a range of available hours and contracts could include shifts and also 0-hour contracts if that's what you want. There are also a number of initiatives to help with any transport barriers. If shifts or work locations mean public transport options aren't available. In some areas, there's things like Wheels to Work, and some employers will actually buddy you up with drivers or sometimes have pool cars available. And then also the law does ensure that employees working in domiciliary care, in home care, are paid time for travelling between appointments as well. So other myths include I haven't got experience to work in care, or people may think that you have to have qualifications to work in the care sector, as people you're looking after have specific needs. It actually doesn't matter about a person's background sometimes or how old you are. If you want to help people and most importantly have the right values and the right behaviours, then there's potentially a job in social care for you. Employers obviously have a duty to safeguard their workforce and provide adequate training. So in some roles, neither qualifications nor previous experience are always required. It obviously depends on the role. There are entry-level jobs where training will be provided by the employer, and also pre-employment routes that can offer candidates such as traineeships, work experiences, etc. So you'll hear about sector workforce programmes, etc. that you can actually get involved in. You can get a wide range of training and qualifications while working, including apprenticeships right up to level 7, and there are a number of career pathways which I'll go into in a little while. You could go right up to being qualified as a social worker, an occupational therapist or a nurse via work-based apprenticeships if you wanted. And also remember that many of you will have transferable skills from previous work and personal life experiences that would be relevant to care roles. And the beauty of social care is you are learning every single day. So I talked about values and behaviours, and to us this is an important element of finding the right person to work within this sector, and it's the right person for the right job, and it's perfectly all right if your values and behaviours suit one establishment, one area of work rather than another. That is absolutely fine. So just on the screen you'll see the few types of values and behaviours that would suit a career in care. And don't be put off applying because you may have health conditions or a criminal record, and I will go into that in a little while as well. If you have the right values, then your skills, your experience, and your perspectives and ideas would be welcomed in the sector. And then myths exist around contracting, and that that sector doesn't have safe, viable, long-term prospects, and that social care is not a worthwhile career. Well, for me, certainly. I mean, I joined the social care sector on a voluntary basis from the age of 13, and here I am now. And without a doubt, I'd say it's a worthwhile career. I've loved it. Days I've hated, but most I love it, as any job. The sector offers good long-term employment prospects. The number of people with a care need is growing significantly over the next decade, so jobs will always be available. And, you know, if you think of yourself, your family, your friends, you will know somebody, if not experience it yourself, at some point will access social care. It affects all our lives. Social care is about helping people. There will always be people who need additional support. And if we look just in the Black Country alone, we have approximately 36,000 jobs within the Black Country in social care, and vacancies at any one time are approximately about 2,400, and the demand is growing. And there are actually more jobs, as I said, in social care than there are in the NHS. Social care is a growth sector. And if we look in the West Midlands, we will need approximately another 47,000 people to be working in the sector by 2035. So that's a massive growth that we'll need in this area. So some of you may feel that I haven't got a clean DBS, so I can't work in care. So a disclosure and barring service, DBS check, is required for anyone working with adults at risk and also young people as well. It replaces what you may have heard as the CRB before. Employers often pay for these checks, so candidates may not need to fund this themselves. And not all people with a criminal record could be discounted for a role in social care. There are guidelines and there are initiatives in place to support people from all kinds of backgrounds and help them into work. An employer will look at what the offence was, the circumstances around it, how long ago, what have you done since, etc. So it is a potential yes, as long as, this is the important bit, as long as a candidate has not been barred from working with adults, children or both. It is also an offence for employers to employ anyone who has been barred. So what I would say, and I'd always advise, be honest and open with employers. They will discover any information when they undertake a DBS, so it really is in your best interest to discuss with the employer first the circumstances around it. Many people throughout their lives have got in difficult circumstances and things have happened. You know, so have those conversations. Ultimately, if people have not been barred, it is a decision of the employer, who will then undertake a risk assessment, taking into account what the role is and what the setting is. So employers will take into account lived experience. And so this can include not only those, you know, the skills and experience you gain from a variety of different backgrounds. You don't have to have worked in anything to do with social care before. You will bring some experience into that. If you've worked as part of a team, if you've used your initiative, you know, if you're passionate and committed about things. And it can also include people who have cared for a relative, people who've enhanced their knowledge through volunteering, or people who've maybe received help and support themselves and now want to be able to help others. So we do often have people maybe who have had drug and alcohol dependencies, you know, who've maybe received help over the years and have now looked at helping others. That's just an example. Attracting candidates from a wider talent pool will better reflect the community they're supporting as well. So candidates from different groups are underrepresented in the workforce and may also be ideal for applicants. So, for example, males, older people, people with disabilities. And if we look again just in the Black country, so approximately only 16% of the workforce is male, and we really need males to come into this workforce. You know, we need to have that understanding of the community to show how the community looks. So we need that balance between males and females, etc., age range. And so the average age is about 44 years old, with only 8% under 25. So again, we want that age range, and only 32% from a BAME background. So we really need to grow these elements of the workforce to ensure we meet the needs of the people who are offered support and the communities that they live in. So what is the reality of working within social care? Now you've heard about some of the myths and why they just aren't true. Well, as you've seen, there are many development opportunities. It is a real career. It's not just a job. If you want a career, it's a career pathway. It's full of potential. As I said, the job is varied. No 2 days are the same, as I've said. And as well as frontline roles, there's a wide range of other opportunities. So things like catering, HR, admin, management, finance, transport, housekeeping, maintenance. It just goes on. And as I said, many of the roles in care are all about building those relationships and watching the changes you can make to people's lives through the care and support that you provide. You can make that real difference to people's lives. And, you know, this is just a tool that we've got. So on our website, on Skills for Care website, you can look at this. There's a real exciting career pathway for yourselves. And what you can look at a pathway through. You may start off as a care worker, for example, support worker, but then you may want to go into specialise in something around dementia, learning disabilities, mental health. You may want to do a specific role, such as an activity worker, or you may want to do some of the really fantastic, unique roles that are coming up at the moment, such as a care coordinator role, social prescribers. You know, you can move up into management and commissioning. And as we said, you can move up into what we call a regulated professional. So a social worker, OT, registered nurse. So there's absolutely a wealth of opportunity there for you to gain experience, to find out where your passions lie, where your interests lie, and then to develop that further. And you'll be supported every inch of the way on that. And so to help you with that, there are some resources. As I mentioned, that resource I've just shown you is on our website. There's also the Think Care Careers, and on there it will take you through all the different roles, so you can spend some time exploring what you'd really like to do. What I would recommend is some of the quizzes we've got online, and definitely the one at the bottom, a question of care. This is something that is a really good starting point, but also employers are using this maybe in interviews and applications. You can go through this, and it will print a report off at the end, and it will help you to look at where you need to maybe look at development, where your interests may lie. So you may find that you want to work with older people, you may find you want to work with younger people with disabilities, but it'll give you that report, and it's fantastic to take to an interview, to put in with your application form, and it just shows then how committed and how interested you are in coming to work within the social care sector. So please take some time to have a look at those resources. And if you need any more information, please get in touch, and good luck on your career journey. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, Shirley. That was really interesting overview of the social care sector and some really useful tips on how to get into the sector. And just to reiterate what Shirley said, really is a career pathway. So those links that Shirley alluded to at the end of her presentation will be available on our website. So please do take the time and have a look at those. We're now going to move over to hear from Nicola Richards, who is the MP for West Bromwich East, and she's going to give us a bit of an overview of Sandwell and social care within that area. So over to Nicola, it is a video.
Hello, I'm Nicola Richards and I'm the Member of Parliament for West Bromwich East. The adult social care sector is hugely important and can genuinely transform people's lives. Carers offer a huge range of dedicated support and services, not just in physical help in residential and nursing homes, but services range from information and advice to Hello, I'm Nicola Richards and I'm the Member of Parliament for West Bromwich East. The adult social care sector is hugely important and can genuinely transform people's lives. Carers offer a huge range of dedicated support and services, not just in physical help in residential and nursing homes, but services range from information and advice to befriending services to community centres. And our carers are really the unsung heroes, especially after the difficulties we've all faced over the last 12 months. There are challenges though. Men and young people are hugely underrepresented in the adult social care sector. Here in the West Midlands, just 16% of social care workers are male and just 9% of workers are aged under 25. We really need this to improve to ensure that adult social care sector remains diverse and has the ability to meet our future requirements. So if you're about to leave full-time education or training, or if you're unemployed, the adult social care sector routeway includes a learning programme and a work placement to get you work ready. This is organised through our fantastic Job Centre Plus here in West Bromwich, who work with learning providers and adult social care employers to ensure that you get the training and support that you need to take the first steps in a really rewarding career.
And thank you to Nicola for taking time out of her busy schedule to record that for this webinar. So some really useful information there. Our next speaker is Adam. Adam's from Walsall Football Club, and he'd like to talk to you today about his personal experience within his family of using carers. And over to you now, Adam. Welcome.
I just unmuting my microphone. Hi, everybody. Yeah, my name's Adam Davy. I'm the community director at Walsall Football Club. We were approached to talk, for the 4 or 5 minutes that we've got about the care industry and our experiences of it. We were hoping to have had some footballers on the call, but unfortunately the season's over and they're not around at the football stadium at the moment. But I offered to talk a little bit about my experience of carers and people working in the care industry. I've got 2 main ones really. My sister-in-law, she lives down south with my brother. She worked in the care industry for a number of years, and at family events and get-togethers, we would obviously have a catch up. We don't see each other as we live so far apart, and she would tell us, we talk about work and how things are going and everything else. And it was very clear to me talking to her that, that working in the care industry isn't just a job. It's something that you have a passion for, and something that gives you an enormous sense of well-being for caring for the people that obviously need those services. On a bit more of a personal scale, when I was younger, for one reason or another, I ended up living with my nan. I got very close to my nan because of that, almost like a second mom to me. And in her later years, she passed away nearly 10 years ago now, but in her later years, she had a hip operation. She broke her hip, had a hip operation. And towards the end of her life, she was requiring 4 carers a day, 4 visits a day. I would go in from time to time on my way to work, as everybody knows that when you work, you're very busy. Sometimes I'll be there when the carers were around. Sometimes I'll be there just for before or after they'd been. And for me, on that very personal note with my nan, it wasn't just the care they were offering. It's the companionship, stopping that social isolation that she could have if family weren't able to get round as often as we wanted. And that obvious, care of helping her wash, dress, medicate, meals, things like that. Really was so important to my nan's sort of health and well-being into her last few years of her life. So I've always had that experience of the care industry, and particularly quite closely with that sort of incident with instance with my nan, that made me realise how important caring is. I jumped on a call with a couple of the hosts of the call earlier this week, and it was just alluded to by Nicola Richards that males in the care industry, 16%, 9% under the age of 25. I think it's really important that there is that diversity in any sector, whether that's the care sector or otherwise. You need to be representative of your customers. You need to be representative of your clients, the communities that you serve. Our work as the community scheme is very aware of that. And we look to make sure that we have as diverse a workforce as possible. It's relatable. It makes people feel at ease. It gives people more attachment and confidence to access services. And even in our world of community sport and community engagement, it holds a vital role to have that diversity. So for me, I think it's an obvious one that this is historically an industry that female workers would potentially use as a career, but I think it's equally important that there are male carers, that there is that equality and diversity in any workplace. And if there are anybody thinking of getting into that career, male or female, but particularly male, I'd strongly encourage it, because the companionship, the care that you offer, as well as it being a job, is vital to so many people, and people like my nan that were really in need of that care and service when she was struggling herself. So really, that was what I wanted to say to everybody here, that when you go into a career, I'm very fortunate. I love my job. I've got almost a hobby for a job, and it does make you go above and beyond. And if you've got a real passion for the care industry, and you get an enormous sense of well-being from not just offering the care, but the extras that come with that, and being a companion, then I'd strongly encourage people to consider the pathways that are being discussed on this call today.
Excellent. Thank you, Adam. Some really key messages there, really, really poignant, and you leave us on a really key note where you talk about the opportunities to get into care. So on that note, I'd like to hand over to Satwan from Embark Learning, and he's going to talk about some of the entry into care through a training program. So over to you, Satwan.
Hi, thank you everybody. Thank you for having me on. So my name's Safan Ash. So I'm Business Development Manager for Embark Learning. We work alongside Fairway Home Care, who are one of the largest care providers in the West Midlands. So in this next few minutes, I will talk to you about our proposition, our excellent training program that we've got that will get you into the care sector, no matter whether you've got an experience or not. So I'm quite conscious that I've got only a few minutes, so I'm quite passionate about what we do. So I'm going to try and kind of cut it short and get to some of the key points. If we can move on to the next slide. Okay, right. So we've got an excellent premium health and social care training program called My Care Portfolio. To the job centres, it's referred to as a sector work-based academy program, so it's referred to as a SWAP. At the end of the program, you'll be guaranteed a job interview and job, providing you meet the requirements. I hold regular information sessions with many candidates that kind of get referred to me by the job centres and lots of external training providers, lots of external stakeholders, sorry, who I kind of do a very quick overview, and I would say 99.999% will stick with us because of the benefits. Part of the 3-week training program, we've got a mixture of accredited kind of topics. You'll get 2 accredited qualifications, which I'll go through on the next slide. And what you can do is, what you'll be doing as part of the program really is we'll be developing your skills and knowledge by some excellent trainers who've got plenty of experience in the field that will get you through it. The next slide is probably the key slide of what it's kind of all about and what the benefits are. So what are the benefits of our 3-week training program? So 2 weeks of the training is delivered via Zoom, so it's the comfort of your own residence wherever you live. At the end of the 2 weeks, as long as you complete all the online training, it's only 2 hours in the morning from 10 o'clock until 12. We'll accredit you with a level 1 in health and social care, and we'll also accredit you with an award in digital skills. So your training will not go to waste. It's nationally accredited quals, and they'll be yours on your CV, and then we can also support you to develop further. What are the more key benefits as well? So I would say that as long as you're passionate, as long as you complete the program, guaranteed job interview. As long as you attend the online training, you attend the practical training, we'll guarantee you a job interview. And by the way, the practical training, it's fun, it's engaging. As you're aware, with Zoom currently, but we'll be starting the face-to-face in August. So with Zoom, we can develop your knowledge, but when you come in, we'll develop the skills. You'll be applying your knowledge into skills really. And we've got a state-of-the-art skills lab. Normally with an information session, I'll pick up my laptop and I'll just show you a live session taking place. We've got a hoist, we'll do manual handling, first aid. It's really fun. So back to the benefits. We'll guarantee you a job interview, and we will guarantee you a job as long as with the skills for first slide, there was a slide on there about some of the skills and the attributes you need, and some of it's just basic. Be passionate, be compassionate, be hardworking, have that kind of can-do attitude. For us, we take pride in the quality of care we deliver to our clients. We deliver to hundreds of clients across the West Midlands, and I'll briefly talk to you about just some of the job roles that we've got. We'll take you on board. Doesn't matter whether you've got experience or no experience. Criminal record, no criminal record. If you're a single parent, if you've got learning disabilities, if you might have suffered from mental health, absolutely does not matter to us. We've had a whole range of different clients or candidates that have come onto the program, and we've got them on. We take pride, and I quite like the challenge actually, but for us it's all about having an impact on the people coming on. So it's about giving you the opportunities to get a job, to make a difference and have an impact on people's lives. So don't ever feel or think that just because you've got no experience or no accreditation, we will train you. And because our sister company Fairway are one of the large care providers, we can guarantee you there'll be a job there at the end. There's no, I've kind of talked about the accredited qualifications. We'll support you with the job interview prep. There'll be no cost to you. DBS will be covered. The uniform will be covered. We work with another client of ours where we'll even, before the interview, we'll actually give you free clothing for the gents. So I know this is about pushing, the kind of the males into the sector. You get a free suit, shirt, tie, shoes, which kind of reaffirms that there are jobs at the end of it. Plus with the Embark Academy, we will also support you into whatever career path you want to get into. So we've had lots of degree students and lots of people that they've got their own kind of career path. We've got people into mental health because we work with mental health clients. We've got those that wanted to get into nursing and clinical. We can support you. We've had those that wanted to get into becoming a social worker. We've got them into kind of support. So we've got lots and lots of different opportunities and avenues. So that in a nutshell is the benefit. I could probably spend an hour on that, but I'll move on to the next slide. Lots of benefits, and really it's a great opportunity for people to come on. So what's available when working for Fairway? So Fairway, as I mentioned, one of the large care providers, won lots of awards. We've got a tender. So Fairway, we've got a tender to also supply the NHS. Which goes to show how credible Fairway and Embark. So we've been kind of running the program for many years. As a successful candidate, you could work daily, weekly, monthly, lots of flexibility. So if there are any single parents, we could work around you. What the recruitment team will do is they would look at where you live, what you're interested in, what hours you're available, and we can sort out a package to suit you and your personal life as well. We've got temporary contract, we've got permanent contract. We work throughout Birmingham and West Midlands. We've got hundreds of courses. So Embark doesn't just do the three-week training program, but we also do lots of commercial training for lots of care providers, schools, nurseries that need their staff to be trained. I know some of this has already been mentioned before, but they're a great rate of pay, lots of flexibility, lots of career progressions. You can go on to becoming a senior clinician, a team leader, care home manager. So I tell everybody, as long as you're passionate, you're hungry, in life, there's always a lot of challenges, but you can always overcome them. And we will support you to get to your end goal. Lots of different roles available. You can become healthcare assistant, support, community. Even if you went into a residential setting and you thought, oh, this isn't for me, we could very easily lift you, put you into a different role. We briefly talked about domiciliary or the home care. We pay 35 pence a mile as well, so it'd be good if you drove. It makes your life easier. But we have very good rate of pay, and as I mentioned, we'll cover your uniform, your DBS, your career progression. So in a nutshell, it's excellent. Just to also let you know that we are going to be currently celebrating our 1,000th employee that have come through the program as well. So that's kind of a landmark in itself, and it's going to be a great celebration. Next slide, if I've got one. Yeah, right. Facts and figures, and I think I'll just finish off on this. Fairway work with hundreds of care providers. We have an excellent, strong relationship with Fairway. As I say, they're our sister company. 99% compliance as part of a successful tender to supply the NHS. Lots of opportunities if that's the kind of route you want to go into. By the way, I've worked for the NHS and I've recruited for the NHS, so I know what is expected from the NHS. And normally we would look at credentials and experience. So getting into the health and social sector is a perfect platform to get into the NHS. Coming through Embark is perfect. 55% of Fairway's workforce are through the My Care Portfolio program. We have a 98% achievement rate. That's an excellent achievement rate. 95% customer satisfaction score. We have a very warm, dedicated team straight through from me when I kind of have that engagement, through to the trainers, the recruitment team, the business development managers that will all be part of your journey in supporting you and getting into the role. And as I said, we're going to soon have a massive celebration. We're recruiting, a massive celebration with the 1,000th My Care Portfolio candidate. We recruit weekly. We have training sections that start weekly. You know, there's a high demand for it, but lots and lots of opportunities. We've had MPs come on, Mims Davies, UK employment ministers come on, endorse the program. So it's great, and for us, it's about giving people the opportunity. And my advice is take the opportunity, embark on our journey, and I promise you'll see the fruits of it. So if you're interested, I know this will be posted. You can get in contact with the host or whoever's on there, or you can contact me on safwan@embarklearning.co.uk. So from me, in a very quick nutshell, thank you very much, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Sandwell. That was really very positive and a wealth of opportunities out there for people to apply. And congratulations on your 1,000th employee through the programme. Really good news. So thanks for that. And we're going to hear from Dudley College next, and they're going to be talking about their training opportunities to get into care. Over to you, Helen.
Hello, everybody. Well, that was definitely somebody to follow. I feel really underprepared now. So we offer something pretty similar, and we have done some work with Embark in the past. My old manager, Mark Knowles, would have done some work with Embark, so we were aware of just how fab their programme is. And our programme is really similar. So we offer a programme called Care to Make a Difference. And in line with getting into care, helping and supporting people who've got no experience in the care field, it's about giving them an idea, as other people have mentioned, of what care is, doing some of that myth busting, really getting them into the mindset of what is involved in care. And the programme itself consists of similarly a care qualification. So at the moment we are offering a level 1 in adult health and social care, but this will be developing. So I'll tell you a little bit about what we're looking to develop pretty shortly. So at the moment we offer a customer service qualification, which is tailored around care and how you would change your approach to people in the care industry. It's not about customer service and what that's like in retail. It is very much tailored. We offer the level 1 in adult health and social care. And then we also have some tailored employability. So if, for example, we look at an application form, what is it that you're putting down on your application form? What transferable skills do you have? What sort of things can you say in an interview, which maybe you wouldn't say in another interview? So somebody mentioned earlier on today that some care companies will look and be very interested in the skills that you gain through day-to-day life. If you're a parent, if you've cared for somebody, perhaps a relative, then you would talk about those sorts of things at interview. You would mention those sorts of things on an application form, whereas if it was something else, you maybe wouldn't talk about your personal life so much. And that's something that I know some of the employers that we've worked with are really keen to hear about and to know about. So at the moment, that's the three, I say, accreditations that we offer. So you do walk away with those three things. We do offer a guaranteed interview. So what we try and do is we try and speak to as many different employers out there as possible, invite them in. We work closely with the job centre to make sure that they're on the case as well, speaking to new care homes that are recruiting. And we just try and get lots of different variation. As mentioned previously on one of the presentations, there's not a one size fits all in care. And we might have somebody come through who wants to be a care worker. We might have somebody who wants to work with rehabilitation. And so we need to have that different variety and those different offers available. So we don't work with the same employers each time. We try and get, as I say, as many different offers as possible on the table. And we try and get those employers in. So if employers are available, we actually get people to come and chat to us. It's very informal, so they can be as prepared as possible to know whether or not care is right for them. For us, our approach is making sure that you know what care is all about and that it's definitely for you. We wouldn't want to put you into a care role and then have you think, no, it's not for me. Actually, I didn't realise that was a part of it. So it's the full package. What we are looking at developing, and this is in the baby stages, but due to this, I'm currently doing my level 2 in adult health and social care, so I can be involved a lot more in the delivery. As at the moment, I support with the delivery, but not on the health and social side. So this has got me involved in my own personal development. But we are going to be looking at opening the spectrum of what we offer. So we will be looking at offering a level 1 in healthcare, which is a little bit more of a broader spectrum rather than just tailored to adults, so health and social care. And we're also looking at partnering that with a level 1 in mental health. I think a lot of us are aware of just how much mental health has come to the forefront with lockdown and COVID and things like that. So we thought it would be a good idea to maybe make more of a package rather than have adult social care. We want to broaden and as I say, add some pieces to that. We're also, as I said, speaking to new employers. We've worked with Home Instead, who I think are coming up before. We've had Sue in to deliver some dementia awareness training. So we try and get as many different avenues to highlight what care is all about to our learners. We're also looking at offering a progression path through the college, so that once they've done their level 1, if they want to progress onto a level 2, and then from a level 2 they want to take that further, then we're offering that, and that's an intake 3 times a year. So it's not just waiting for that September start. Just really to sort of finish off, really, I don't have a massive facts and figures, unfortunately. It's quite varied, but one of the last courses that we ran, it was post-COVID, so we wanted to really get it back up and running. It was low numbers. We had 3 attendees, but out of those 3, 2 of them have got a job within a fortnight of actually finishing the course. Previous to that, we've had the entire group walk away with 2 job offers. So again, very, very similar to Staff 1 and Embark. We're really, really keen to get individuals qualified into care and starting their career path. As far as the course is concerned, it is available to anybody 19 plus. It is completely free of charge. We do work with men, women, anybody who wants to get into the care industry. So yeah, that's it from me. Thank you very much for listening. And again, if you do have any questions, please, get in touch. My contact details will be shared with everybody.
Lovely. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you.
That's a really good overview of another route into the care sector. Lovely to hear that success stories of your candidates getting jobs. And you mentioned a lot about employers, which leads us really nicely into the next speaker, who's Sue Love from Home Instead. Over to you, Sue.
Thank you very much, Jackie. So thank you for inviting me today. I always enjoy going out and speaking to people, because it's really important that people have an understanding of perhaps places they may want to go and work. So if I just tell you a little bit about me, about Home Instead, and about some of our values. Basically, my name's Susan Love. My background is I've been a registered nurse for over 25 years and a teacher, and I've been with Home Instead for the last 9 years, when we opened the Dudley office in the Netherton area. Home Instead is a franchise, so there's over 220 of them over the UK. So although Home Instead is a very friendly and family orientated business in Dudley, it's part of a much, much bigger picture. In fact, you may see us on a Monday evening at 8 o'clock. We now sponsor Alan Titmarsh and his gardening show, which is a really nice thing. But please don't think that's Dudley sponsoring them. That's nationally, okay? We're not that big quite yet. So what's our aim at Home Instead? Our aim really is that we aim to keep elderly people, mainly elderly, although we can look after people right down to the 18 and upwards. So to keep people maintaining their independence and keep them in the place where they want to be, which is generally in their own homes, for as long as possible and as safely as possible, surrounded by the people who they love and care about. We're a very, very different type of care organisation, and I say that with my hand on my heart, because I see other care companies work in very different ways. So it is important that you understand the way that Home Instead works. You'll see also, I love putting this behind me, because we're really very proud here at Home Instead in Dudley that we have an outstanding CQC rating. That CQC stands for the Care Quality Commission, and it's how we are regulated, it's how we are judged. And just before the pandemic, we were judged as outstanding, which we're very, very proud of. We recruit on a regular basis. In fact, the aim of Home Instead is that we never stop recruiting, because we continue to grow. We continue to take clients on. Obviously, we lose some caregivers. Perhaps they go on to, in their career progression, into nursing, as we've talked about earlier. Some of the speakers have mentioned. They may go into nursing, they may go into admin in the care sector. Excuse me. But we never, ever stop recruiting. We recruit men, women, and of absolutely any age. And the reason we do that is, like all the other speakers have said earlier, we want to reflect the people, the society we live in, and the people we support. However, You may say, well, if there's a gentleman who requires care, he may want a gentleman to support him. Oh no, that's not the case, because at home instead what we do is it's all about putting the client at the centre of the care, and the client is asked about the type of person that they would like to care for them, the type of interests, the type of hobbies, the type of background that they have. And very often we get a very big mix, and it's quite surprising in some cases. And I did jot down a few people that gentlemen especially, because I know we were focusing on gentlemen joining the care sector. So we had a caregiver who's in his mid-50s, who's looked after a lady of 90, she's 92, and he's been looking after her for 4 years. She chooses to have him as her carer. We have another gentleman who's actually past retirement now at 66. He is the carer, can I just say. We refer to our staff as caregivers. And he's been looking after a lady who just requires going out for shopping, but she sees him very much as her son. There's a son-mother relationship. And we've got a few other younger male caregivers. And one lovely story I've got is about a young gentleman who came to us who'd got no experience in the care sector. He was 19 at the time that he joined us, and he went through his home instead training. A lovely gentleman, very pleasant, very polite, very gentle. And we matched him with a lady who was living with dementia, and the only problem she had was that she found it very difficult to cook safely. She remembered how to cook, but she needed to be cooking safely. And to encourage her independence to stay in her own home, what we said to him was, would you like to support this lady? He said, I can't cook. It said, it doesn't matter. She'll teach you to cook. You just need to follow the safety aspects. And they built the most fantastic relationship until she sadly needed too much personal care and required going into a care home, her family choice. But he learned to cook from a lady who was living with dementia, which was fabulous. So the sort of things that we do at home instead, like normal domiciliary care, we're supporting people in their own homes with perhaps personal hygiene, housework, medication support, personal care and companionship. But don't think that's just what we do. So I've also got my other little list here of more special things that we might do for people, allowing them, and I know Shirley talked about earlier on about living the way the person wants to live. So it's about what sort of things do they miss from their past life that now they need support. What do they miss? So we have a gentleman who goes to, and some of you might disagree with this, but West Bromwich Albion Football Club. I know there was a Walsall team member on here earlier, but so he goes every Saturday when pre-COVID, but when West Brom are playing at home, to support his client to go to the West Bromwich Albion home games. What a lovely job, because the caregiver himself is a West Bromwich Albion supporter, which is unreal. So they both tootle off, and after that they pop to McDonald's. We've got a lady we take regularly to the theatre, and obviously when I say regularly, not at this moment, but regularly to the theatre. She loves going to see ABBA tributes, etc. A gentleman who enjoys going for a pint at the pub, but unfortunately he's in a wheelchair and his family live too far away, so his caregiver goes and takes him down to the pub. His caregiver doesn't drink while they're there, but he might have his pint. And carveries and things like gardening, picking up old pastimes and hobbies. And the reason we at Homestead can do all this is because the one thing that is very, very different to many other care companies is that we have hour-long calls as a minimum. And that allows our caregivers to build up a really good relationship with the client that we have matched them with appropriately. So we match our clients to our caregivers based on the requirement of the client and what the client has said the person should be like who's coming to support them. And then they stay with that client, so they build up that lovely relationship. We don't wear uniforms. People who are going to care for someone don't need what I call a nurse's uniform to go in and make a sandwich, to sit and have a coffee with them, to take them shopping. They don't need that uniform. We do obviously provide protective clothing, aprons, gloves, masks, etc., and always wearing their ID and lanyard on their lanyard. We guarantee times with our clients, so not only do our clients know when the caregivers are going, the caregiver knows when they're going to be at a certain place, and that's really important for the clients that we're serving. And we pay our caregivers between the calls that they make, and we give them the time to get from one client to the next, so that clients aren't having calls cut short and they're having the full hour that the client has been told they're getting. Everyone who works in our office, and we have an 11-strong team in our office now, every one of them has been a caregiver first and foremost. And we think that's really, really invaluable because they absolutely do understand the role of the caregiver and the problems that they may face on a day-to-day basis. We have a 24-hour on call, so when people are out there working on their own, they don't ever have to feel that they are lone working. They've always got the support of on call. Our training is provided. We provide our own training. We're an accredited training provider, and we carry out the training. It's the first day is the ageing process. The second day is the safe client, safe caregiver process. The third day is building relationships, medication. On the fourth day, the fifth day is moving and handling. And on the sixth session, we have a coffee with the founders. So myself, Julie and Ian, who own Home Instead, we sit and have coffee and talk to them about the values and the ethos of working within Home Instead. We do an awful lot of work around charity and fundraising, and as an organisation, we have our own charity, that's Bring Joy Foundation, where we put money that we've raised back into the community for our elderly members. What I would suggest anybody does, if they're interested in working with Home Instead, that they go onto our website. I'm sure I can tell you, it's www.homeinstead.co.uk/Dudley and Sandwell South. When you go onto the website, you can register your an interest of working with us, asks about 4 questions with a postcode, send that off, and then you'll get someone come back to you. It's as simple as that. But then there's quite a long process after that. What I would say to you as well, other people have talked about it. Not everybody knows whether it's the right thing for them, and we actively encourage people who have not had any experience in care to come forward. However, our training starts before you're employed with us. So we do that so that we can see if you're the right fit for us and you can see if you're the right fit in care. We think that's really valuable. I could talk forever about it, but I know I have to stop. So thanks ever so much, Jackie, and thank you. And please feel free to ring us. Follow us on social media, Instagram and Facebook. You'll see a lot of what we do. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Sue. That is truly inspirational, and some of those stories that you alluded to were absolutely brilliant to hear. So thank you for that. You're very, very passionate, and that comes through really strongly. And congratulations on your CQC outstanding. And I think I might tune in to Alan Titmarsh on Monday night. Okay, thank you, Sue. So next up, we wanted to get some information across on this webinar about what other package of support are there for you in terms of wraparound support. So we've got Nguyen on the call, who's from National Career Service, and she's going to play a little bit about how they can help as well. Over to you, Nguyen.
Thank you, Jackie. Hi, everyone. I am the Employer Engagement Coordinator for the National Career Service. I'll be here to speak about how we can provide support with overall employability. So if it's the case that you need a CV or some type of information, advice and guidance, we can help you. So whatever the stage of your career, we are here to help. Next slide, please. Just to give you a quick overview of what the National Career Service is. So we are a fully government funded information, advice and guidance service to support anyone into employment. So how we do this is we can offer you free, impartial and personalised advice and guidance to help you make your career decisions. And this is available to anyone who's 19 plus, looking for work, looking for a career change. Anyone who's 19 plus can access our services if you do need any type of sort of information or careers advice. So we know that when you're making decisions about your future, especially in this webinar, if you're looking to go into care, it's really important to know what's out there and what's right for you. So like this webinar, we can help signpost you to different organisations and different training providers and different employers to really give you a good understanding and a good awareness of what the opportunities are there for you within your area. So like I mentioned, whatever stage you are in your career, we can help you understand what your skills are and what skills you might need to have to adapt to new jobs, circumstances and opportunities. I mean, we've all lived through the pandemic in the last God knows how long now, really, and the the recruitment and the employability market has changed. Everything's online, and as we sort of go through this sort of really hard time, and as things as restrictions ease a bit, we can provide you the support as things change. So there are many options open to you when you are thinking about your next steps, and we will try to provide you the most impartial information, advice, and guidance to help you give you the best decisions on learning. So if you're looking to upskill yourself on training, and also if you want to get into work or change your career. And with that, once you've signed up to the National Career Service and had our sort of support, we will provide you ongoing support. So we won't just leave you after your first initial session. We'll provide you as many different sort of opportunities to attend different webinars for different information to really help you understand, firstly, what is the best pathway for you and what opportunities are open to you at this current moment. So next slide, please. So the many things that we can support you on, just on the most basic form, is CVs. So if you are looking for a CV, or if you want someone to check your CV, our trained careers advisors can really assist you with either creating a professional tailored CV and covering letter, or just having a look at your current one and helping you really highlight the skills, all the key skills, and tailoring it to a specific sector. So for example, if you're looking to go into care and you might not have the experience, our careers advisors can help you with taking out all the transferable skills that you have and really highlighting it into, you know, a covering letter or into a CV, and really help you apply for different organisations that you might be interested in. If you're looking to maybe have some support with effective job searching, our careers advisors can give you advice on how to utilise different social media platforms like LinkedIn and job boards to really fully introduce you to different roles that are out there, and really just identify your transferable and job specific skills. So if you're, for example, if you're looking to apply for a specific organisation, I know the civil service, for example, has quite a sort of step-by-step process. We can help complete application forms and personal statements for you, really coach you through all the different applications for all the different companies that you might be looking for. If you've got an interview coming up and you want to sort of have some practice, we can help you with interview preparation and go through different techniques, as well as provide mock interviews for you. If you're looking to learn new skills, we can signpost you to formal and informal training. So previously with SAF1 at Embark Learning, we work quite closely with SAF1. So if you come through us and you'll say, if you want to have an idea of what sort of trainings out there, we link up with a lot of different providers in the local area, and we can signpost you to them and give you the information you need before making that decision. Again, if you're looking for apprenticeships or if you're looking to source voluntary work, we can obviously signpost you to different organisations that provide the different career pathways. And again, if you're looking to go to university and you're not sure of the UCAS process and you're not sure about what course you might take, again, we can try to provide the impartial information, advice and guidance to help you really understand what the best route way is for you. So how to get in touch, next slide please. If you'd like support in your career journey, so how it works is, if you would like this support, we can offer you a free one-to-one telephone session with our careers advisors, and during that phone call they'll go through an action plan with you and really discuss your strengths, your skills and ambitions, help you consider your different options and identify opportunities to support your career goals. If you'd like to get in touch and have some support from us, all you need to do is call our 0800 number, which is on the screen there. So it's 0800 100 900. So the lines are open 8 till 8 Monday to Friday, 10 till 5 on a Saturday, or 8 till 5 on a bank holiday. Calls are free from landlines and most mobile numbers, and once you sort of call up, you'll be put through to your region. So if you're based in Birmingham, Solihull, Coventry and Warwickshire, Black Country, Hereford and Worcester, Stoke and Staffordshire, we'll be able to access a careers advisor who is an expert within their local area, so they'll know all the different opportunities within that sort of specific area. But thank you so much for listening, and I'll move on now. But thank you everyone, and good luck with your search for work. And if you are looking to go into social care, it's a really, really rewarding industry, and I hope this webinar has been quite good and informative for you.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Nguyen. That was really useful for people to understand what that whole package of support available to them is. And like I put in the chat, we will put all of those website links on our website following the webinar. So next Next person we've got speaking is Lucas, and Lucas is going to talk about opportunities at Walsall College.
Hello everyone, my name is Lucas and I am a Senior Marketing Executive at Walsall College, and I'm here to tell you a little bit more about our health and social care offer with the emphasis on apprenticeships and our provision run in partnership with different employers. I'll ask for the next slide. Right, before I start, I just wanted to let you know about all the amazing support and all the great courses in social care you could access at Walsall College. So apart from the apprenticeships and swaps, which I'll discuss today, we're offering free level 2 and level 3 distance learning courses in such areas as counseling, end-of-life care, autism, mental health, principles of dementia, just to mention a few. And we're especially excited about the level 3 qualifications because they are available for free as a part of the Lifetime Skills Guarantee, which is a new government initiative. So normally this qualification costs about £800, which makes it now a very good opportunity for everyone who previously thought of doing this kind of qualification but couldn't afford them previously. And additionally, we offer part-time and full-time courses in social care, starting from level 1. And most of these courses start in September, but if you're interested, please make sure you visit our website to apply or choose an option to request a prospectus, which is currently being produced. And if you choose an option for home delivery, as soon as it's ready, we'll make sure it reaches your home. And we also offer traineeships in social care, which last between 6 weeks to 1 year or 6 months on average. And of course, apprenticeships and swaps. So I'll ask for the next slide, please. Right, starting with dental nurse level 3 standard apprenticeships, we have loads of vacancies in Birmingham, Cannock, West Bromwich, Walsall, all the way out to Shrewsbury and Telford. And these vacancies have an average salary of £4.30 per hour. As many apprenticeships, it includes 20% of the job learning. So during lockdown, this part was delivered online. And we would like to continue with this approach as many of our apprentices found it comfortable and easily accessible. So we'll continue with the online aspect of learning after lockdown as well. These vacancies, these opportunities are available on the government website as well. So whatever you see today, please make sure you visit either the government website or the college's website, and you can use those online websites to apply. Okay, I'll ask for the next slide, please. Right, we also offer a 12-month-long healthcare support worker level 2 standard and 18-month-long level 3 senior healthcare support worker standard apprenticeships. In both cases, the apprenticeships include 20% of the job learning as well. Okay, next slide, please. Right, also very popular, adult care standard and lead adult care worker level 3 standard apprenticeships. Those are exclusive to 19 plus learners, or 19 plus apprentices. And as all of our apprenticeships, they are available on the government website. We do have some vacancies in WS1 area. So if someone's from Central Walsall and is watching us today, those can be perfect apprenticeships to apply for as well. Okay, next slide, please. We also offer level 4 and level 5 standards, and that includes the roles we can see on the screen right now, such as a lead practitioner in adult care and leader in adult care. Where apart from the work experience, the candidates get the opportunity to achieve level 4 diploma in adult care or level 5 diploma in leadership and management for adult care. And as for the level 4, before the EPA, which is the endpoint assessment, candidates will need to achieve occupational standard, level 4 diploma in adult care, level 2 English and maths, and the EPA consists of 2 assessment methods, and that's observation of practice and professional discussion. With level 5, the following components need to be met before the EPA gateway, and that's again occupational standard, level 5 diploma in leadership and management for adult care, level 2 English and maths, and then the EPA consists of observation of leadership and professional discussion. I'll ask for the next slide, please. And now finally, our pharmacy services assistant level 2 standard and pharmacy technician level 3 standard apprenticeships. We had a real influx of those vacancies due to piquing interest in well-being and welfare. As you're aware, the sector being extremely busy, there is a big need for additional staff members, and that's reflected in the number of vacancies we have available. Therefore, again, if you're interested, please make sure you visit our website and you'll see all of the details of these vacancies there as well. Okay, next slide, please. And just to finish off our NHS pre-recruitment programs, so SWAPs, I'll ask for the next slide as well. So our most recent SWAP is a pre-recruitment program run with NHS, where candidates take part in a 2-week-long training program with guaranteed job interviews. The interviews take place at NHS Walsall Manor Hospital, and there are multiple vacancies to choose from, and that includes ward clerks, porters, clinical support workers, support service assistants. We run this program with NHS, obviously, but also WHG, which is a local housing association. And the interest in these roles was massive. We received over 200 applications with over 90 candidates progressing onto the second stage of the program. So as you can imagine, it's been extremely popular. But yeah, it's an NHS, it's an initiative run in cooperation with NHS. So I think that's it's one of the reasons why the interest was so high. And that concludes my part of the presentation. If I could ask for the last slide, please. If you wish to know more about any of those opportunities, and that's apprenticeships, as for the apprenticeships, I would recommend contacting Gemma, and her email is visible on the screen right now. And for the last part I spoke about, which was the NHS pre-recruitment program, Debbie Illich would be the best person to speak to. That's me. Thank you very much.
Lovely, thank you, Lucas, and a whole host of opportunities there, and really branching out into different parts of both the health and social care sector. Really informative. Thank you for that. Right, moving on. So Luke is going to talk to us next, and Luke works in the care sector. He works for an organisation called Care Through the Millennium, and he's going to talk you through his experience of work in the sector. Over to you, Luke.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, as I said, I work for Care Through the Millennium. Here we work with adults with learning disabilities, mental health and challenging behaviour. And I mean, the company itself, they provide great opportunities for people with and without experience through training, the gaining of qualifications, and offer great career progression, with myself being proof of that. So obviously I was asked to share my experience of my progression throughout my time here. So I've been with CCTM for 9 years now. Joined in 2012, and I came into the job with absolutely no experience whatsoever. I'd never even considered care as an option when I was younger. And it was purely at the time that I was unemployed, and I was with the job centre. And I was basically asked if I'd be willing to complete a pre-employment program where I could attend a week or two of sort of classroom-based training, which would set me up for situations that I may be working with on a day-to-day basis, as well as gaining knowledge on legislations and company policies and procedures. And fortunately, I completed the course and was obviously offered the role. Which I decided to initially take the role of a waking night staff, which I did for a year. Now, this was a great time for me to sort of get used to the industry and my experience in here. And then after that year, I was actually, with the skill sets that I'd developed and were continuing to develop, I felt that I'd be better suited on today's. So I'd switched on today's there and spent some time as a support worker, where again I gained further knowledge and experience working day to day, and also completing regular training, which CTTM ensure is completed to a high standard and offer regularly. And also during that period, I was able to complete my NVQ level 2 and 3, which were both funded. So I had never really had an appreciation of the idea of job satisfaction. I'd never experienced that before until I started working in this sector. I mean, working with individuals, reaching goals, small and large, and just knowing that you've made the individual's day that little bit brighter, supporting them with gaining or improving on new skill sets, it really does give you that feel-good factor, and it makes you sort of proud to know that you've helped make a difference in their lives. So from there, I was again fortunate enough to gain promotion to team leader, which was a new role for myself. I was completing more duties, small audits, running shifts, as well as continuing to work with the individuals we support here. And that was another thing that gave you that job satisfaction, knowing that you've helped ensure that the days ran smoothly, all the duties have been completed, everybody's supported to a high standard. And again, at this point there, I was then able to gain promotion to senior support worker, which again, it provided me more experience, more duties to undertake, and it gave me more of an insight into what the management did on their day-to-day business. So during this time, while I was a senior, I also then went and completed my NVQ level 5, which I chose to pay for myself at this time, but I was able to pay for on a monthly basis. So it never really had a big impact on me financially, but it had a huge impact on me in terms of my job role itself, which then enabled me to sort of gain promotion again to deputy manager, which is the position I hold at the moment and have been doing so for over a year. So I came into care at 20 years old. As I said, I had no experience at all. And through the last 9 years, I've been able to gain an absolute load of knowledge, experience, additional life skills for myself as well. And it's all enabled me to sort of get to the role that I'm currently in now and have every sort of ambition to get higher. So CTTM also do apprenticeship schemes as well. I currently have 2 apprenticeships in the home that I manage, and both of those lads had never worked in this sort of sector before. I'm sure they wouldn't mind me saying that they had absolutely no idea what they would be doing. And they came to us in October, and they've made huge strides since here. They both absolutely love the job that they do, and working alongside their assessor, as well as the support and the guidance and the knowledge from all the staff and management here, they've both said that they would like to pursue their careers within the care sector and remain in the care sector. So I was asked a few weeks back what I thought the percentage of males that were working in the care sector was, and I actually guessed a lot higher than it was. I knew that it was lower, but I didn't realise just how low it actually was. I mean, my view on that is, I think is care seems to have a bit of a stigma over it, the care sector. I think if you don't really know what it consists of, some people can have a negative view, which again was covered earlier in some of the myths that were busted. And yeah, there are times that will really test you both mentally and physically, but the pros absolutely outweigh the cons. Not only do you provide support to help improve the quality of an individual's life, but you also support them with activities and that they like to attend. I mean, they obviously vary, but I mean, in my experience, some of the activities that I've supported individuals have been cinema trips, theatre trips, football games, days out to beaches, theme parks. I even had the pleasure of supporting an individual on a 2-week holiday in the Caribbean, which you would not get that in any other job at all. So obviously the role is it's not only about activities. You work hard, you face very many challenging situations, but I think if more people were aware of the potential things that they could be doing, it would entice more people to potentially look at care as an option. But yeah, as I said, that's everything I've said has been sort of specific to myself and my time in the sector. Everyone has their own experiences that they have throughout their time, but when I was asked to take part, I was happy to express how anybody looking at working into care with zero experience, zero knowledge of what it may be that they'll do, I'm kind of proof that it's the opportunities are there, and with the right work ethic and the right people around you, you can progress and you can have a really great career working in care. And I can absolutely guarantee an experience you would never get in any other job. It changes every single day. There is no 2 days are the same. And as I said, the whole rewarding factor that you will feel on a day-to-day basis, seeing the difference you can make in people's lives is huge. It's huge. And it makes you feel great about the work that you do. And as I said, it improves the quality of individuals' lives here as well. So yeah, I mean, that's all I needed to say really about my sort of time here. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Luke. Thank you for sharing your experience, and like you say, your proof that you can go into the sector with no experience, and you've absolutely outlined that career pathway that is there, following the opportunities that people are talking about today. So really appreciate you sharing your journey, and well done. So thank you very much. We're going to move to Marie now from Sandwell College, and Marie is going to talk about Kickstart. Over to you, Marie.
Thank you, and hello to everybody. Fancy putting me after Luke. Hope you follow that on personal experience. Just to let you know that I'm not just over adult skills and Kickstart and traineeships. I actually did start in health and social care, and I went to college and I was a trained chef, and actually started in social services in the kitchens, and quite rapidly got pulled into coming on holidays with the residents, and day trips and Sunday afternoons out with a picnic, and stayed after shift and went on those jollies with them, and sort of got pulled into health and social care, and somehow became an assessor for care after I'd done shifts. So did all my training as an assessor, and started assessing night shifts for individuals with West Midlands Co-op residential homes, so they could get their qualifications, and started my own business, and then so health and social care is a passion in my heart. And if what I'm talking to you about, you give it a go and you do a swap and you think, oh, go on, I'll do a 4-week course, and it is not for you, and you find out that you don't want to do it, then that is a win, because we are not putting people into care that haven't got a passion here, like all of us. And we've got lots of other things that you can move on to, that none of that training, it's all transferable, and none of it is wasted. So please give me my 7 minutes, what they've given me, to show you how you can merge all of this training. And I would urge you, if you are applying to employers and they are asking you to pay for vetting and barring and pay for your training, please do not do that. Walk away, because they are not quality providers who you have today talking to you. There is absolutely no way that you should be paying for any training, and we can offer all of the training and the package available. I'm not going to do too much of a big sales pitch, but I want to talk to you about how you can get onto Kickstart, which is the new Boris thing for 18 to 24-year-olds. I run a swap, same as all the others do, for Job Centre and DWP, and as are from 18 to any age. But to get onto Kickstart, you do have to be on universal credit. So if you're ticking all of those, then please keep listening. The swap that I run is a 4-week swap. So you're guaranteed an interview as well, and guaranteed to see an employer. The employers that I deal with are Sandwell University Hospital, Sandwell Council vacancies, our own apprenticeships. And we have employers that come into the classes to recruit that have got vacancies currently. So we don't just have employers in that haven't got vacancies. There's an opportunity for you to go on to in whatever option that you choose. Before we work with any employer, as Sue will tell you, we check on CQC on their most up-to-date reports, and we won't work with them if they're not good to outstanding or outstanding like so, because we want to put you into a quality employer where there is progression. So we don't just work with any employer that has not got a focus like Luke's or Sue's as an employer. They've got a passion to develop their own workforce. So my swap is 4 weeks, but I do 9 qualifications in the 4 weeks. So I like to do as much as I can for an employer towards their care certificate, so you will get through your induction a lot quicker with that employer. So we do blended learning, so it's a little bit online, but if you want to come into a class and you want to do face-to-face teaching, you can do that. But the offer is there that it is digital as well. So we do equality, diversity, we do the level 1 preparing to work in adult social care. Now that is really, really important, that you need to know the difference of what you're applying for. Do you know the difference between supported living, domiciliary care, a personal assistant, residential, mental health? Do you want to work with challenging behaviour, adults? Do you want to work with children? So it gives you all the options for you to decide. And a personal assistant role, like Luke said, you work directly to that person that has a direct payment, not an employer. You work direct to that person. And it may be even that a young person has got their money and they want you to purchase with them a laptop and go on a dating site with them and then go out with them to dates and meet people, so they're not going on their own. So not all care is personal care. It is going on the nice holidays. It is going on the adventure holidays, because we've got people with disabilities and even elderly residents who don't want to go on a holiday that they sit round and play bingo. They want to go kayaking. They want to go climbing walls. They don't want to be going to a day centre and sit and look at people that they don't really like. They do want to go down the local pub and have whatever specials on that day. So preparing to work in adult social care is one that really helps you make a decision about which offer you want to do. And if you can do personal care, care is not all about taking somebody to the toilet, because I can't even do that. So fair play if you are doing that, because that is, you know, champion to you. We also do a 3-day safeguarding, full safeguarding qualification. We do health and safety in the workplace, level 2, food safety, level 2, if you've got to food residents, feed them and cook with them, and like Sue says, learn to cook. Those both last 3 years, so they're yours for you to keep. We do, sorry about that, we do infection control with COVID updates, we do dementia awareness. So there's quite a package there, which is bespoke to our employers that want to recruit. So that is open to anybody. And as a swap, you will stay on your benefits, you stay with the job centre, we pay all your enhanced DBS checks, tabard, your PPE, any travel and childcare. So if you are a lone parent, or if you're somebody that does need childcare, then that is all paid for while you do that training. You don't have to make a decision at that stage that you are going to come off benefit. So please give us a go. There's no reason for you not to try before you buy that you want to go into care. And like me, you may be in hospitality, your qualifications may be in retail, but if you give it a go, it is so rewarding, and it's a career for life. So please look at that. So after you swap, we run traineeships for 16 to 24s. So if you are a youngster and you're listening, or you've got a sibling that you think would like to do it, 16 to 18s, we pay you £50 a week to come and do all of that training. If you're 18 plus and on benefit, then obviously we don't want to mess about with your benefits and mess up your claims. So we give you a little bit of money after when you're finished, when you sign off, so they can't take it off you. I don't know if Pauline's still on, but we work well together and we do DWP. We then run all of the apprenticeships that all the others have been talking about. So you can go into an apprenticeship starting from level 2, level 3. We do access to nursing here, we do access to HA. Thanks to Jackie and the Combined Authority, we have free funding for level 3s and level 5s. If you are already trained to level 3 in care and you would like to go into coaching and mentoring, there's free level 3 and level 5 qualifications in coaching and mentoring. We do counselling. So let's move on to Kickstart. So you may want to do the swap and move on to Kickstart, or you may have some of that training already and think, I just want to go straight onto Kickstart. It's for 18 to 24s for anybody in the West Midlands region. So you're going to have a West Midlands postal code. And it's a 6-month paid employment placement in with a care employer. And there is support for you through that. Sorry, somebody just said they're leaving and put me off. I thought they couldn't hear me. So we support you in a 6-month fully paid. It's 25 hours a week. And the other free time that you have, we put you through a level 2 and a level 3 free training. First, level 2 is leadership and management. And then you can go on to any level 3 or level 5 qualification. You can even do level 5 qualification at leadership and management while you're on that 6-month placement. So employers will also give you additional training, such as the people handling, manual handling, that they do bespoke for their own client base. So you're going to, through that 6 months, you will get so much benefit from the training, the on-the-job training, getting in with a team, that you will know if you want to go on to an apprenticeship after. So it's living wage for 6 months in with an employer before you even decide that you want to go on and do a full 15 or 18-month programme on an apprenticeship. But as I say, we work with Sandwell University Hospital and we offer their traineeships and their apprenticeships. We work with Sandwell Council and our own apprenticeship team here, that you can go up to level 5 on apprenticeships. And we also, as part of our swap, work with the mentoring circles for the NHS. So they will come in and help you understand about the different roles in the NHS, but also register you on the NHS portal for their job vacancies. Kickstart vacancies also come through us. We host here Sandwell Youth Hub. So anybody 18 to 24 can link with any of our partners and any of the opportunities that are through Sandwell Youth Hub. What I want to say is, if you haven't got the maths and English and you've been looking at slides and think, oh, I haven't got a level 2 in that, and I run a 10-week course for maths and English. It's not a year course. My swaps run every 4 weeks. So please don't wait till September, because we've got courses running June and July. And so you could be qualified in a swap and moving on to Kickstart even before September. So please get in touch with either your work coach and ask them about Kickstart, or you can come to me directly. Good luck to all of you with your career choice, and thank you all for listening to me. Thank you, Jackie.
Oh, thank you, Marie. That was really informative, and it's so good to hear those flexible options every 4 weeks, which is superb. So thank you again, Marie. Just a couple more speakers left. I'm moving over now to Roger, who works for Care to You as a registered care manager. Over to you, Roger.
Hi, good morning, everybody. There's a lot of information that's been proceeded before me, so I'll try and keep it short and sweet, which I'm not very well known for, and you'll be pleased to hear that. I've been asked to talk to you about my journey into social care. Well, I will tell you, at the age of 32, I was shanghaied. It wasn't a natural progression. I wasn't asked to join it. I was dragged into it, kicking and screaming. Before that, I was actually a plasterer by trade. Left school with no formal qualifications, went straight into construction, travelled around the world a bit, had a bit of a gap year or two, to be quite honest. While I was going around, I worked in some hospitality jobs, some hotel work, and various bits and pieces I picked up for myself along the way, which helped to develop, without me realising, some good communication, customer service skills, because customer service skills I developed on a building site really wouldn't have been conducive when it came into working in care, although in some instances the banters worked well that I learned around the construction industry. Really, in 1999, I started to become aware of this company. Somebody I knew was working here. By 2001, 2002, I was listening to what was going on, how the care sector was being formed and shaped. And on a couple of occasions, I helped out and assisted in a voluntary way and got introduced to one or two of the service users. I started to become a little bit more involved. My natural progression from there was, like I said, I got shanghaied, I got pulled into care kicking and screaming, and I was earning quite well and doing quite well as a plasterer. But I started to develop a passion for care. And that was where, you know, I started thinking to myself, well, what makes a good carer? Because I saw a lot of people at the time applying for jobs. Some were coming and going. The ones that stayed, along with people like myself, seem to have that sort of background empathy, patience, a lot of commitment, and great communication skills. Working in care, you need a strong desire to achieve and succeed. Any decent company will support you to do that. After 5 years of working with the company, supporting as a support worker, I then progressed into a senior role. From the senior role, I never thought in a million years, without any formal qualifications, I wasn't academically the sharpest knife in the drawer. I was given opportunities to learn, and what absolutely astounded and amazed me, which is still there today, was the commitment of people, whether it be the company you work for, the partnerships with local colleges or other organisations, to want to help you to succeed. I never realised that I had a little bit of a learning disability in that I'm genuinely 99% certain I'm dyslexic. I've never had a statement to say that, never had a test. But I now find things a lot more difficult than what other people do when it comes to reading and writing. I can read and write okay, but I have those slight difficulties. It's never been a barrier. It's been a bigger challenge for myself personally, but after 20 years in care, I'm now in a care manager's position, and I've held that role for over 10 years now. And that was a natural progression. Again, it was something I never sought out. It came and found me. And I think within any job in care, the opportunities are absolutely immense. The doors are all there to be opened if you've got that desire. If you've got that desire to achieve and succeed, it's a wonderful, wonderful sector to work in, to progress in. And especially for men who are very reluctant to come into this sector. The natural viewpoint and feeling is, which is very stereotypical, that, you know, men who want care prefer women and women who want care prefer women too. That's not always the way. We employ men successfully. I've worked in care successfully. I'm not the type of person that you think could turn up in a uniform at the front of somebody's house with an adult lady or an elderly lady and they'd be willing or accepting of me to provide their care. It really comes down to how you can communicate with those individuals, how you can break those barriers down, how you can put them at ease. It's a really important role, as Adam said, from Walsall FC. It doesn't just provide care for the individual. When you're in there making that difference, the title of the current, you know, campaign is Care to Make a Difference, and that is exactly what it is. We're not just there to provide that care for that individual. Once we're in there providing them 4 calls a day, as Adam described, it gives people peace of mind. The informal carers, the wider family networks, the next door neighbours, they know that that person's being supported to be an individual, to be independent. They can get on with their lives. They can go about their daily normal activities as well and continue with supportive, meaningful relationships. They can go to work. The job as a carer is so important within the community. I wouldn't even really know where to start with the 5 minutes I've got. I would recommend anybody who's got that desire and that curiosity to try it. It's not for everybody. It becomes a vocation, a way of life. It's not just a decision that you can make willy-nilly. It needs to have some thought and a little bit of research, and for people to not just galloping in thinking, you know, they're going to give it a crack and a try. It's the type of job where, especially in community care, you're allowed, you're trusted to go in and support people in the most personal way and circumstances. And we'll need to be sure that the right people are in the right position to do that job before that progresses. And this is why some of the wonderful opportunities there now with the colleges, with the swaps, help you to progress through that. We only operate in Walsall with a small company. That's always been the model of Care to You. I'll give a little bit of a plug. We're advertising at the minute on Untitled Jobs, Facebook. There are no shortage of jobs in care, that I can tell you. As Shirley said right at the beginning, the industry is vastly under capacity. We play a vital, pivotal role in supporting the NHS and hospitals to keep their beds free and the flow of people into community, to support healthcare and provide professional services out in the community. I'm going to leave it at that because I know we're a little bit behind time and I really don't want to bore you to death, but I'd love for anybody that's out there that's on here today that's got a keenness to actually look at working in care, to take up the opportunities that are on there and change your life, basically.
Wonderful, thank you, Roger. And again, you absolutely brought it to life about actually working in the social care sector. I'm aware we are slightly behind time, but I think it's absolutely been well worth it because the passion in this webinar for the care sector is second to none. So we do go to our final speaker for today. Amanda's from Wolverhampton College, and we'll just outline what opportunities are over in Wolverhampton. Over to you, Amanda.
Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, I'm aware we're running over slightly and we're all ready for a cup of tea, at least I know I am. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of outline to you our swap, as we've all been calling them this morning, into health and social care. So at Wolverhampton College, we've got a dedicated team of specialists and ex-professionals who've designed a course which will prepare individuals for what it's like to work in health and social care in a digital world, basically in today's sort of modern world. Now, can I have the next slide? Okay, so our course is a 2-week course for health and social care, which supports those who are interested in working in health and social care to look at the knowledge, the practical and the transferable skills. So those first few bullet points there are sort of our knowledge focus, and that's done as a mix really of face-to-face and online training. And there would be an opportunity then to do some online courses which are accredited, which will give you the level 1 or 2 in some of those sort of key areas that all employers will look for when you're entering into the health and social care setting. We've then got the practical skills, so we've got a member of staff who'll take you through all of the practical, you know, emergency first aid, moving and handling, and those health and safety risk assessments. So we've got all of the equipment and you know, the resus annies and all the rest of it for you to actually try out and practice those skills. And then, as others have mentioned, there's the employability skills, so really important in terms of those transferable skills, helping and supporting you with your job applications and moving in to this sort of setting if you haven't worked in it particularly before. And you are guaranteed a job interview at the end of our swap as well, as others have indicated before me. If I can have the next slide. I think what sets our package sort of apart really is this focus on the digital skills. I think we're recognising that health and social care now, like many other sectors, is becoming more technology focused, and our course is sort of providing you information on how it's used in health and social care sector, both from the service user's perspective and from you as the practitioner. So I think COVID and the lockdown, I mean, it's testament that we're all on here today doing a virtual webinar, that we are using those digital skills now, and I know that that can be quite daunting. You know, for a lot of people who perhaps don't feel very sort of tech savvy. I know, you know, my skills aren't always as good as I'd like them to be. So there is a real focus on our course with dedicated sessions that look at those digital skills. So that's looking at assistive technology that's used in health and social care. So that's how individuals, basically, we can support them to remain as independent for as long as possible. So there's lots of new and exciting technologies that are out there now today that we'd be able to sort of explain to you and get you, you know, to understand how they work, so you can support service users if you're moving into that sector. We also look at the technology applications, so there's lots of things now, and I know any of you that have tried to book hospital appointments or get test results or wherever might be familiar with this. So there's lots of apps and things that are available now that we go through in terms of making appointments, getting your results, your diagnostics that have been done at the hospital and things. So we look at those aspects as well. And looking at the benefits of what this technology is, it's not there to make your life hard. It's there for independence, increased confidence. There's obviously cost benefits, but also effectiveness and time as well. It can be much more sort of time efficient. And then we will obviously explain the legislation and policies surrounding a lot of that, because obviously if we're moving into this virtual world, we have to be very aware of, you know, the data that we're handling digitally. So we look at the GDPR, which is about protecting people's data if we're sharing it digitally, and also the sort of key focus of the Health and Social Care Act in terms of the digital side of things. And then finally, we look at the medical technology in health and social care. So there's lots of really, again, exciting things out there that people can use independently to monitor their own health and well-being, but also as a practitioner, how you go about using that with your service users and how you record that information down. You know, gone are the days where we used to write our care plans. It's all done now on iPads and smartphones and things. So that's quite exciting, but it can be quite daunting as well. So we want to sort of include in our course how you can, you know, relay any of those fears. It's actually a lot easier than it sounds. Like with others, as those before me have mentioned, at Wolverhampton College, we do offer, although we're focusing today on the swap, we do offer lots of progression opportunities for those who want to, right from level 1 up to level 5. That then gives you the opportunity to do top-up years at the university and to get your final degree. And we do have an apprenticeship-based programs as well as our academic side. Okay, if I can have the final slide, please. So obviously there is eligibility criteria in terms of the swap, but the really great thing for anybody who's interested is we have a course running very, very soon. So that's literally after our half-term break. So we'll all hopefully come back feeling refreshed and invigorated to actually run this course. And that'll be the 7th to the 18th of June. That'll be at our Paget Road campus and run by our employability team. So I've got some of my academic staff that are delivering on there. As I say, we've got practitioners, ex-nurses and social workers that will be assisting with that course. But anybody who is interested, it's best to contact Lorna Prosser, whose details are there on the screen initially, but you are welcome to obviously get in touch with me as well, which I know the details will be being shared out for at the end of this webinar. Okay, so I think it's a cup of tea time for most of us. All right, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Amanda. So that was a really useful insight into the additional needs for digital skills in the social care sector. So I am aware we've gone over. You know, it is time for a cup of tea for everybody, but I just really want to thank first and foremost all of the speakers who've given up their time today to put this webinar on, to the team at WMCA who've got all the technical knowledge behind this webinar, and finally to all of you attendees. I really hope you found it useful. Opportunities are there, jobs are there, employment opportunities. So good luck in your search, and I'll officially close the webinar. Thanks everybody.